Thank you, Dr. Abolo. Mr. Asanwa, among the reasons that are responsible for this flooding that we have annually is the issue of building on floodplains, water channels. That's one of the reasons. And then the other reason, of course, is our drainage system. Is it not time for us to begin to look at how to cover our drains so that they do not become refuse collectors?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that we look to. I have always said that the way we manage our drainage system in Nigeria is defective and contributes to flooding. But beyond covering the drains, even when they are covered, if people are discarding their sachet water and plastics indiscriminately, even refuse, you see refuse just dumped. When it rains, all those things will wash into the drainage systems. So even if they are covered, in fact, sometimes when they are covered, that even exacerbates the problem because now you can't easily remove what is under if you can't see it. So I think we need to, beyond covering the drains, we need to look at our behavior. And individual responsibility plays a major role here. But let me step back a little bit to look at the issue of preparedness, which is our main focus. If you look at what we have been doing, I would say that we are devoting about 90% of our resources to post-disaster relief and response. And that is flawed. Everybody tells you, as children, we were always taught, a stitch in time saves 9, prevention is better than cure. But when it comes to this area, we keep making the same mistakes. We began this program with a look back to 2012, when we had massive flooding for the first time in Nigeria. Even the president's house then, Jonathan, was flooded. That's how massive it was. And some of us were sounding this warning that you need to shift your focus from response and sharing materials to being prepared, preventive steps, proactive steps. And some of those things that we have to do, we haven't done in the past 5, 6 years now. So I want to once again stress, you know, there's this clamor for restructuring in the air in Nigeria. And maybe instead of just looking at restructuring with regard to sharing of funds, we need to look at restructuring with regard to welfare of citizens. And what do I mean by that? If you want to really deal with this issue of flooding in a proactive manner, I think the state governors have some responsibility. It doesn't play well for a state governor to be ravaged, to have a state that is ravaged. You take the case of Benue State, for example, where you have over 110,000 people displaced. You have vast amounts of farmland submerged. You have farm produce destroyed. You have livelihoods. Even aquaculture is affected. Then you have businesses that are not functioning. So whatever projection Benue State had in terms of internally generated revenue is going to be bastardized. Their last quarter will not look nearly as well as it could have. So the point I'm making is the state governors have a responsibility to take flood prevention and mitigation very seriously. We are not doing it now, and there are things that we can do. You'll also look at the federal structure. There is a lacuna at the federal level now in Nigeria when it comes to flood and disaster management. We have NIMET, which historically has been extremely good at predicting what will happen, letting us know when it would start, what to expect. Very wonderful job. Then you also have NEMA, which is doing a very good job given the resources that they have. But you see that in between there is a gap, there's a lacuna. We have a predictive agency, and then we have a post-disaster agency. And what most people don't even realize is NEMA only responds when the disaster is catastrophic. If it's just serious, they're not supposed to respond. So where is the prevention and mitigation agency or task force? We need that at the federal level. In the U.S., we have so many arms of federal government that are built to warn people to respond, to evacuate, and to take steps, even at the state level also.